Hi guys, and welcome to the Shoreline 4x4 installation YouTube video channel. In this video, we'll be taking you through installation of the new SLX Recon Bull Bar designed here in WA. We'll show you how to take off the front bumper, install the new components from the bull bar, set up the actual bull bar, and then install it. Okay, let's get it. All right, let's remove this stuff. Start by removing these clips. We need to get a little pick. Once we remove all the little clips, the panel should just pull out and clip it from the air dam, and that's it, exposing the top of the grille. We'll start by undoing all electrical connections, the water connections, camera connections. Good idea to keep the car locked and not open it after you've disconnected all the electrical components. Okay, let's do that now. All right, press the clip and remove that. Undo the camera connection. Pop that one out. Got the bonnet open release. Using a pry, let's pry open that. Disconnect, there we go, all disconnected. That can stay as is. All right. Using a pry, we'll pry that up. There we go. There's the water. We'll disconnect, we'll pop that off. There we go. We'll probably need a cable tie for the water. Check everything else. There's another clip here. There we go, that's loose. There'll be another clip halfway down there you got to get. 8mm to undo the front of the grille. And then there'll be another one on the other side here. All right, we've disconnected everything, we've checked everything. Now we'll move to the side guard and start undoing the bumper from the side. You may need to tape up the water if it's leaking. All right, we'll now start taking off these clips up here and the access panel on both sides. Okay, let's take off these connectors. At the top here, we have a screw type, nice and gently, comes down. Then we can remove, there we go. Same with the access hatch. Nice and slow. Okay. There we go, another one at the top here. There we go. We can just turn that out of the way, exposing the access hatch. And then to undo 3 bolts which are hidden up in a guard here with a 10mm. All right, now we've undone the 3 bolts, the hidden bolts. Gonna have to get under and start undoing all the visible hex bolts, and then a couple hidden ones inside these holes, and then we'll get more access to undo more bolts. We also have to remove this one up here. I've taken the rest out from underneath, and then finally the hidden one in the hole. Moving this one here. Undid all our bolts underneath and the side flare. You'll start to see the side flare can come away. The lower skirt, you should be able to just pull it away on both sides. Exposing the underneath. All right, while we're under the car, you may as well remove the bash plate using a 15mm socket. go. We won't be needing this. Okay, now it's time to remove the grille. We've undone the side bolts, all the bolts underneath, the hidden bolts are 10 mils. We've removed our bash plate and we've kept all those bolts. We've loosened our flare. We've disconnected our water, our camera, our main harness here. Basically now you give this a hard yank, this should come off, and then these are secured in with clips from behind. I've loosened this one a little bit, but you basically grab it from the middle and you give it a hard yank and it'll come loose, and do the same for the other side. You should be able to nicely remove the grille and place it to the side. Once we've done that, we'll remove these two bolts here and here. Double check that we've disconnected everything. Like this guard here, this flare here, should just come away. We'll mark the orientation of the sensors so we know which way they go back in, and then we'll slowly pull apart the bumper. All right, now we're ready to move the bumper. We've disconnected our sensors, we've marked the orientation with an up, we've left them hanging, we've made sure that we've removed that completely, and the captive rivets in the back, so both sides. The main electrical harness here, you can undo this to better get to it. Basically to pop that back through, pinch and push. There we go, that is disconnected. Put those screws back in. Should be able to just pull it apart. There we go, completely off. We'll keep that to the side to get all the sensor housing equipment out of it. Remove this here, pair of pliers, pop it out of the metal. There we go. Set it up there so it's nice and secure, not going to fall. And now we've exposed the chassis. Nice. Get a 10 mil out, completely removed. Okay, so we've removed the foam, the radar, nice and secure there. Exposed chassis, 3 bolts, M8 on the right guard here, which held the bumper. We'll remove and leave hanging, because later on that will get cut. Then the horn, M10, we'll remove the horn completely, and the original bracket. Back to an M10, M8. There we go. 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 Horns are free. Bracket is off. Move that little bracket there. All right. And reinstall the horns upwards to clear the bull bar. We're using the factory bolts. There's one horn. Factory grey bolts. M8. There is the other horn. We'll cut those flares to suit the bull bar later on. All right, after we've marked our sensor orientations and unclipped the whole harness, we'll disconnect everything, pick it up, keeping the same orientation, and move it into the new bull bar. The Recon Bull Bar has tabs for mounting the harness, which we'll walk through in a later video. We'll also walk through in a later video setting up the lighting and getting everything ready. Okay, now that we've got everything off, just have to remove the radar. 3 bolts that just pry off. Very loose in this one, but they should just pop straight off. Another one on the back there. We don't need that anymore. Secure that up there, back in there. Now we're taking off the factory tow point. 8mm on this side. If you do one side at a time, it won't drop. I've already loosened this one a bit. 15mm on this side. There we go. Okay, had thread locker on it, so we'll put some back on there. Get the new part from the bull bar. We'll line her up. Start feeding in our brackets to hold there. Some thread locker. Just a little drop if we've got any left. There we go. Okay, and we'll tighten this side back up and do the other side. Bit of thread locker. Not much. There we go. Alright, nice and tight. Now because these got thread locker on them, it's a good idea to use a breaker bar to start off the removal of the factory tow point. One at the front, one at the back. Also good to then remove the 8mm bolt, and we'll repeat the same process the other side, installing the new bracket with a little bit of thread locker on each side. Alright, after we got our radio support brackets on, just going to check the torque spec on them. We're doing about 88 Newton meters. And then we'll be removing part of this air dam to trim it and then put it back, and the lower part will be removing completely. We'll also now disconnect, I could have done it before, but the radar and move it into the bar. Clip, pull out, be careful not to drop it. All right, now we'll cut the air dams. So we'll hold the cradle up. We're going to have to cut from there to there, there to there. We'll mark in the inside cut. Take it off and show you later. We'll take it off, we'll cut it, we'll show you, and then we'll put it back on. All right, we've removed this section of the air dam. Simply undo the bolts, all these bolts, and you can pull it enough forward and be able to cut it. In the lower air dam, we've removed. You measure down 90, and we'll remove this section of the air dam and then secure it back into place. Secure it back into place, 90mm down from the top, and remove it. Okay, now we've reinstalled the air dam, cut 90mm down so we can fit the winch cradle on, remove this section of the lower air dam for the radiator, and now we'll fit the bracketry. Left and right chassis collar brackets. These pits face the front, will line up with the holes in the chassis. Come around, we'll put a bolt through with the washer. Right, we'll come back to that later. Then we'll get these recovery points on. Bolt through, spring washer, spring washer, bolt. Same with all three.
Be torquing these up later.
Yep, in a second. Let's get them all in. And there we go. $19 mil spanner. A quick check on the torque wrench. Probably don't have one, but multiple ugga-duggers is recommended.
And what are we talking into?
90 with the M12s. These high tensiles. Okay, the chassis, and then repeat for the other side. And then we'll get the cradle on. Okay, so we've got the cradle on and we've centered it with our bolt holes. We're reusing the 6 factory M8 on either side, plus the 6 supplied high tensile bolts. And then we basically tighten it up. We've got the M8 35 mils on the back here, and then we'll get in from underneath and tighten it that way. We need to use the spanners on the inside ones, and then change our bolt head to a 14. Okay, and then we'll tighten those up, and then we'll show you how to set up the bar after this. Alrighty then, let's set up this bar. Each pack will come with molded sensor housings. If you have no park sensors, you'd leave these unpushed out, and then you'd push them into the bar as blanking. Obviously this one's got sensors, so we pretty much just push out the middle insert. Should be able to use your finger. We don't want these little nibs, so we'll give it a little file. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Making sure we don't file the front. Nice and smooth. So we'll pretty much line up our sensor harness, checking that the outside is the outside. You'll notice here that this one won't reach. We have an extender. You pull that clip back all the way, give it a wiggle. Let's put that there. Let's push in our extenders. Clip. Let's get our sensor. They can only go in one way. There we go, locked in. Now pretty much, let's move this back. We've got the orientation in black, you might not be able to see it. That will push into there nice and snug. Make sure the rubber is not getting caught up. We got the 3M adhesive and then the 3M stick-on when we install it. I'm just going to show you how it would go once we're in there, because it might be hard to see. Then we have the retainer, and then the screws. All right. Let's get it. Open the adhesive. We'll clean the area nice and gently because we've got to use all 4 or 6 in this one. Get a little wipe. Put it back. So we'll leave it stuck to the pad for our 3M sensor. We'll peel the protective layer off. There we go. Alright, noting the orientation, push it in dead square. Have a look from the front, perfect. Make sure we grab the right sensor, noting the orientation, up and wiggle it into place. And we'll screw on the retainer. Two screws, second screw. It's important to tighten them evenly. You can use the top of the bar as the alignment for ground for the sensor. You don't want to over tighten it. Just want to tighten enough so it cannot move. That's good. You can barely wiggle it. And then you'll do the same for the other 5, noting the correct orientation. And if you move along to the sensor harness, we have the clips pre-welded to the bar. You can simply shimmy the retainers across and clip on. You do this for the whole harness. There we go. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Now that harness is completely secure, and then we'll get along to the lights now. This is the existing harness end for the actual fog light. Now on this car, we are going to connect up the 2 outer on the existing fog light circuit and the 2 inner and the LED bar to the high beam circuit, depending on your state or territory lighting requirements, whether you're allowed 4 or 2 fog, whatever the combination may be. This bar allows the flexibility. You can connect all 4 or plus the LED bar up to the harness applied. It's rated to run all the lights, or you can connect just the 3 lights, being the 1 LED bar and the 2 inside lights, 30 watts, that are supplied with the bar. Or if you didn't want the LED bar, you can install spotlights, and the harness that we provide will contain the switch and the connections required to connect all that up. It's included standard. Regardless if you install the LED bar now or later, the LED bar wiring will always be there. But for now, we'll connect up we have a splitter. So this is for Ranger or Amarok, and this other one is for LC300 and other Toyotas. So we'll connect this up, and this should just be plug and play. with the outside fog light. There we go. Simple as that. And we'll cable tie all that up and we'll repeat for the other side. Okay, let's install the lead bar, the 31.5 inch. I've pre-tightened my legs and dropped the bolt in. Legs go underneath. Then we'll line her up. Okay. Got a washer, spring, and then the nut. We'll do that for both sides, then we'll line her up so she's even, and then spanner, and tighten it. Okay, so we have our lead bar bolted in. We have our Shoreline 4x4 wire harness. Each bull bar will come with, each Recon bull bar will come with a harness and splitters, so everything's plug and play. So basically, got your lead bar. We'll connect our splitter to one side of our harness and then to our other side. The wiring has been beefed up to handle the current load. So basically, these LEDs in this bar are dual color. They can be white or indicator orange, or white and yellow. It just depends on how you order them, but they come standard dual color. This dual color setup is actually white and yellow. So that's connected. We actually have an additional splitter for this fog light because it's a four wire, because it's dual color. So we need to change it to a 2 wire. So we'll plug that one in there, and then to our harness. So everything is now connected. If you've got a Ford Ranger with a pre-wired panel, you'd simply hook up the other end to that output somewhere in the engine bay, and then you got the override switch, which we would run into the cab. Some Amaroks also have the same. Otherwise, there's a high beam circuit takeoff, which you'll just wire in like any other spotlight circuit. So we got the insides on the standard fog light circuit, and then we have the outsides and lead bar on the Recon wire harness, and that will just connect up to the battery in the engine bay. Okay, so we've put in our wiring harnesses for both the lead bar, fog lights and park sensors. It's all in, all secure. Got to cut the cable ties off later on. So now we'll put in our camera, basically 3 bolts to remove the factory backing, disconnect the water spray jet, and then the camera will come out. Noting the orientation, normally the logo's at the top. Got our new bracket here to remove the screws out of the back of the camera. It's an hex 1.5. I've already done this one, and then provided is the new screws. We'll just do one in at a time so it doesn't fall apart. They're longer, so we'll hold it in place. Okay, we'll undo the last screw. Change over. New longer screw and washer. Let's double check the tightness here. And then using the M8 bolts provided, we'll tuck in between here and we'll bolt it in place. Okay, so we have our camera bolted in, all cable tied up, harness loose for now. We put our radar in, we're using the factory bracket and our 3x10mm, nice and secure there. Put the radar cover on from the front. 4 bolts, black bolts. Washer, spring nut, 1 nut. And repeat for all 4 sides. Then we'll go through and check everything and get it ready to bolt up to the bar to the cast. Okay, just to recap where we're up to, we've put our grille back on, we've got all our chassis components back on, installed our grille support bracket which holds it in there very tightly. Now we're up to cutting the flare. Just down here we've marked it with tape. We'll cut that, we'll put the bar on, mark where we're going to cut the guards, and then get to installing the bar. Alright, so we've installed the bar, we've torqued both sides for about 90 Newton meters. We've fed the harness back up through its original location and plugged it in. The camera has been relocated. We've diverted the cable up until about this location here, unpicked to plug in the camera. Grille's all secure. We have the full wiring harness, which is about to be done for the lighting in the bar. If you run it through underneath behind the headlight, there's a good spot which comes up the back, and you can feed all the cable to the terminals there. Now we're up to cutting the side guards. We're going to mark to follow the profile of the bar, then trim, and then we'll install our side bash plates. Okay, here it is, we're done. SLX Recon bar for the new Amarok. We've installed our 3rd bash plate underneath all the way to the cross member. We've got our flip up number plate. We actually have removable mesh inserts here, which you can put out, which are held in with 4 grommets. We got a dual lighting setup plus our LED bar. We've got them on fog light circuit and then we can also have the LED bar together with the outside lights, or you can have them on all at the same time. Full one-piece design, ADR compliant and ready to go.